tax season doesn't have to mean scrambling through bank statements and digging for receipts. Whether you're using Tiller now, thinking about it for next year, or just want to see how it works, this video is going to show you how to organize your tax-deductible expenses and flag tax-related income, and do it in minutes, not hours. I'm going to walk you through my exact process, how to filter transactions, pull out deductions, create a clean report. And that report's going to be helpful if you file taxes on your own or use tax software, or if you're sharing data with an accountant. And this is going to work if you've categorized all your transactions, but it's also really helpful even if you haven't, or if the year got away from you, or you're just getting started with Tiller, because I have some helpful tips that are going to make wrangling your data really quick. No complex transactions or formulas here, just a few simple steps. Of course, this isn't tax advice, it's just organizational tips to get your tax information together in one place. So let's dive into this example spreadsheet. So in this sheet, I have my data mostly organized, but you'll see I don't have it all together. So I'm going to show you some helpful tips. So I'm thinking, I see I have this year's data and I have last year's data. So one of my first favorite features in Excel is this feature here. So I'm seeing the ribbons for home. I'm going to click editing and I'm going to click sort and filter and click the filter icon. Now what I'm seeing is I see little filter widgets next to each of my column headers. So for the year, I'm going to click this filter widget. I'm going to unselect everything and just select 2025. So now I only see the 2025 transactions, and I can see it's a reminder next to that filter widget. It's changed. It's no longer looking like that caret. It's a caret with a filter icon. All right, so now I'm seeing 2025. So I could go into this category filter here, and I could say, let's just look for donations, for example. So I can see these are transactions that I flagged as donations in 2025. So I'm looking at these. This is helpful, but I don't trust it yet because I'm wondering, are there some transactions I've missed? So I'm reminding myself, okay, these were some of the transactions that we made that were donations. So I'm going to go back to selecting all here. And I want to do a couple things here. First, I'm going to sort the amount, and I'm going to sort this so the ascending. So the biggest expenses are listed here first. And now I'm going to just sort of go through, and what I'm going to search for is I'm going to search for those even numbers, because if I'm thinking about donations, that's the first expense I want to pull out, donations. And then we'll talk through other tax-related expenses. Donations are often round numbers. And so here I can see $1,000. Okay, this is Doctors Without Borders. That was a donation expense I missed, and I want to make sure it's categorized. I can go through and I can look at the other round numbers, $500, $100, $25. Those round numbers are often where the expenses that are tax deductible hang out, just because that's the kind of gifts we usually make. They're in round numbers, unlike a coffee shop expense, which might have taxes and be something not round. Now, if you look at this, you'll see, yeah, but wait a second, Peter, that's not a round number. That ends in 77 cents. Yes, that's another trick I use. When we make charitable gifts, we get to control the amount. So not only is it a round number, typically, but we usually end it with 77 cents, which is an arbitrary number, but it's the signal. Because when I make a donation and it's $25.77 or $1,000.77, it is a signal to me when it shows up in my Tiller sheet. Aha, that is likely a donation. So when I'm categorizing stuff and I see something ending in 77 cents, I'm like, probably a donation. All right, so let's go scroll through and see the rounded numbers, 1,000, 500, 250, 100, 50, 25. Once we've done that, the other thing I'm going to do here is I'm just going to now sort by description. And if I scroll through these, this is also a chance to just look through and see, to these transactions, are there any transactions that I know are donations that maybe I missed? Here's an example, World Central Kitchen. Aha. So these are donations, and look at that. a mistake. Haha, catch that. Donations. There I go. I've now organized my World Central Kitchen contributions as well too. And as I continue to scroll through, the other thing I'm going to look for is, are there checks that I've written that are related to tax deductible expenses? So I'm going to search for the word check. Or actually, I can instead, I can do that with a filter, and I can say check. Okay, let's just show descriptions that have the word check. So here I can see, aha, that's interesting. I haven't yet added a description here, and I see the cents. It's a round number, it's 200 plus the 77 cents. And I can go to my bank, look up, and sure enough, this is a tax deductible donation to Smile Train. All right. And actually I'm gonna say Smile Train 5523. Perfect. All right. So with this, I've now done some scrubbing. I've looked at my descriptions when I sorted those alphabetically. I looked at the round number amounts, and I looked at my checks. And I think I've captured most of my related donations. So I'm going to go back through and I'm going to filter by donations. And here we go. I have all of these donations in one place. I'm going to copy this just like that, and Command C to copy. And now I'm going to pivot over and pull all this information into a separate sheet. And this is a new sheet called taxes. So I'm going to paste it right here, widen these column headers a little bit. And here I see all of the donations. Now, this is the sheet, this taxes 2025. This is what I'm actually going to share with my accountant. I'm not going to share the whole Tiller sheet. He doesn't need to see all my transactions. That'd be confusing to him. I'd rather not him share all that data with my accountant. So I'm pulling all my information into this separate sheet. It's similarly helpful if I were filing taxes on my own, because this sheet, once I'm done with taxes, this taxes 2025 sheet, I lock it down and it's my record of everything tax specific. So as I go through here, I also am going to flag if there's anything that I was calling a donation from our budget perspective that's not actually tax deductible. So these Scout Troop 509, that's a donation for sure. It's not tax deductible. So I'm going to right click and delete those. So now I look, and this all looks about right. So I'm going to tally this up. Total equals, and I'm going to use the simple sum formula, equals sum of the cells above, D2 through D29. So now I have my tax-related donations all in this one sheet. And I'm going to rename the sheet donations. Now I can do the same thing with other expenses that I know are in my Tiller sheet. I'm going to pull in my medical expenses. I'm going to pull in business related expenses. I'm going to pull in anything that's tax related and tally them in this sheet. Now, if I go back to the original sheet, another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to think, in addition to those other tax related expenses, and it's going to vary, yours might be related to education, tuition, medical. Let's think about, are there other expenses that are going to be tax deductible that aren't in this transaction sheet? So mortgage interest, for example. I'm going to pull that information off my form 1098 because I'm not going to be able to see that here. I'm going to see a line for mortgage, but I won't see the breakout for the mortgage interest, but the 1098 will have that calculated. If you've made gifts of stock, for example, that's might not show up in your transaction sheet, but you can go to your brokerage account and look up any specific transfers and find the date and the share price and the amount of shares. If you've donated goods, let's say you dropped a box off at Goodwill and you inventoried it and you got a receipt from Goodwill, you can also include that too. So think about those things that might be tax related, but aren't on this transaction sheet. The next thing I'm going to do is think about my income. So for this, I'm going to go back to, and I'm going to sort the whole transaction sheet by amount and make sure that the filters are all off and resort it by amount. Let's say descending actually in this case. And what I want to do here is I want to just look and see, does the income I have here, do I have documentation for all that income? So if there's paycheck income, do I have the W-2 that's related to it? Now, I see a bunch of paychecks here. I see some credit card payments. I'm not worried about those. Those are just transfers to pay off one account from another account. I see this check deposit. And this is a good one because this might be some income. Is this income? In this case, let's consider this income because this was project amplitude, which was a side project. And I want to make sure that I am tracking that with taxes. So I'm going to pull that out and put that into this other sheet as miscellaneous income. And I'm likely going to be looking for a 1099 for that or some other documentation if that is actually income. So now I'm going to pivot back over to my tiller sheet. Now I'm seeing I have rent payments for a rental. Okay. Looks like one of them wasn't categorized yet, so I'll categorize that. And here we have it. All the rent payments. Are there 12? I think I would expect 12. So I'm going to count them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We got all 12. And so I'm going to pull those out as well and put those in the other workbook. And let's do rental. So I have those there. And I'm going to grab the header column as well. Paste that there. Now, in addition, let's see, is there any other income here that I want to make sure that I'm capturing? I think that's all the income. All right, now I want to dig into this rental. So let's go down and look for a category where I have rental related expenses. Voila. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to copy these rental related expenses over this new workbook. Now, these rental related expenses, the way I typically handle expenses like this in my tiller sheet is I use simple categories from a budget perspective. So you notice this just is it's rental income and it's rental expense. I haven't gone into those details. But now that it's in my sheet, I can go through and I can start to break out that detail. So I'm gonna get rid of this duplicate header row because I don't need that. And oops. All right. So I see there's some maintenance expenses. There's some insurance expenses. These are some more maintenance expenses here that I'm gonna actually move up to here. And then I'm gonna insert a couple rows just to give myself a bit of a buffer. All right. I see this is some, I'm going to consider that a maintenance expense as well. So I'm going to insert those rows there. I'm going to copy, cut and paste that up to there. So I have maintenance. Now I have insurance. I have mortgage expenses. And this one is, let's insert some space here. This is a capital expense. This is a roof repair. So little improvement. And here we have the mortgage. I'm going to double check this against my mortgage documents and make sure that's exactly the right amount. And these bold just from a formatting perspective. And we have insurance. And we have maintenance. So with this simple process, what I'm doing is I'm just building a simple P&L. And then we have, of course, our total rent that was received. Great. All right. So now, and next, I'm going to just do a net. I just want to see, not that I need to be turning this into a P&L, but now that I have these organized here, I want to see what's the net. So I'm going to say equals the income plus this expense plus this expense plus this expense plus this expense. There we go. Total net of 1,394 in this example. Looks a little bit thin, but these are the numbers we're using for this sample sheet. Okay, so what you've seen here is I've gone through and now I've built out, I have my donation sheet, I have my rental sheet, and all of this has come from the raw data in my transaction sheet. And very quickly, I'm going to have an authoritative record of what is 2025 from a tax perspective. And it's going to be mine. It's going to be in my sheet. I can share it with whoever I want. I can save it, and I have that. I hope you make similar progress and get your tax data organized and dialed in. And I'd love to hear any tips and tricks you have in organizing your information. Best of luck with the tax season. Thanks so much.